My brother, I've been thinking about something. We've talked about this. Let's give the people more. Oh, they're gonna f*** it up.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Talk Wrestling here across all of our platforms, NoDQ.com, the Custodian Studios, the Great Cherry Brand, and, of course, the Jeff Meacham Network. I am, of course, the West Coast Pressure Jeff Meacham, but you know that because it's Tuesday night, and at least on Tuesday nights, most times of the month, you know what that means on NoDQ.com and Great Cherry Brand. So thank you all for coming in. I know NXT is either just finished or finishing up here, so bear with me as I make sure everybody gets to come in. I know there's a lot to talk about. Don't get me wrong, there is a ton of shit in the news, and let me just say this before we get to question crazy here in the room about the elephants in the room, if you will, and I'm not talking about me. There will be two different panel type shows coming up this week on both on NoDQ.com and on the Jeff Meacham Network side of things. So the big stories will definitely be addressed by the groups en masse on those shows. And of course, we're talking about the No DQ review coming up every Thursday on NoDQ.com. We get the No DQ reviews, so there is that right there. And then, of course, Saturday night, special day and time, by the way, for open mic night. This Saturday, it'll be on Saturday this week because of a family obligation we have Friday night. My niece has a play she has at school, so we're going to be celebrating that on Friday. But we'll definitely be talking about everything that I know you guys are itching to ask me. So we will get to those this week. Feel free to ask about them now, though. Let me just be clear. I'm not going to not answer the questions. If anything, I'll go into my answers here and now, and then I'll give little snippets on No DQ review and on Open Mic Night, especially No DQ, because Lord knows Virgin Aaron like when I don't ramble on and on. So if you ask me tonight, we'll talk about the big elephants in the room in the news of professional wrestling. All right. So Kayla and Tashara, I see your comment. I can't, my eyes are so crap. I can't see what you're commenting, but I appreciate the comment nonetheless. So Caleb Jacobs says, what did I think of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness movie? Did I see Bruce Campbell's Evil Dead cameo? I did. I love Bruce Campbell's cameos in Sam's movies. I think it's great. I enjoyed the movie. Excuse me. Well, pardon me for the phlegm and everything. We're still dealing with that over here. JJ, hello. Good to see you, sir. So I enjoyed the movie thoroughly, and having just watched the first one that morning, I was much more invested in it. Having just watched it, it's great. It's a great sequel. Highly recommend. It's inspired me to go back and watch the old stuff. So today I watched 2 new episodes of Gotham I haven't seen, but not 2 new for everybody else, but 2 for me. Gotham's I haven't seen yet. And so I'm on episode 13 of season 1 now. And I rewatched Captain America: The First Avengers. So I'm going to get back into the binging. So, and that's with Doctor Strange. So I enjoyed it thoroughly. All right. So Raymond, went ahead and brought it up. Sasha Banks walking out. And everybody's asking. Here we go. Jeff, do I think the thing with Sasha is a work or serious? Again, I honestly want to not put too much stock in this until we get a definitive answer from either the company itself, it doesn't seem like a work statement, or from Mercedes and Trinity. That's what I want to see happen, because they've worked just before on stuff like that. So I honestly don't know if it's a work or a shoot right now. Number one, because I'm not there. Number two, because we've been bullshitted so many times. I will say this, though. Everybody out there that's making it about what it's not, and I'm going to try to dance around it very carefully here, because I'm definitely the wrong person to kind of go deep dive on that particular front of it. But this is about 2 people leaving the company because they have a problem with the creative presented to them. This has nothing to do with what type of person they are, what they look like, none of it. This is 2 people, allegedly mainly Sasha, Mercedes, having a little whiny fit about walking out, about the creative place in front of her. And all over social media, oh, it's about this. It's like, you know what? Steve Austin did the exact same thing, and he got shit for it. CM Punk did the exact same thing. And granted, his situation was a little more severe than Austin's was, although we found out Austin later was much more medically screwed up than we knew. This has happened before with people of all sexes, all genders, all races, all everything, skin tones, everything. This has nothing to do with any of that. This is people basically not honoring a contract because they're not happy with the way the work environment is. If you're having a work environment, leave, is how I feel. But again, I don't know whether we're being worked or not, is the answer to your question, guys. I think it's ridiculous that the same person now has walked out twice in the span of roughly 3 years and has not been handed her walking papers, if that's what it comes down to. And I found myself rewatching the episode of Confidential after Steve Austin had walked out 20 years ago. Holy crap. And found myself wondering, Austin claimed burnout too back at WrestleMania 18. And that's why he left prior to the original brand extension, the original draft show. So burnout is one thing. Cool. You know what? if you're that burnt out where you come back and you leave again relatively soon, you are too burnt out for that company or even this industry. Take a step back, reevaluate your situation. That's just the long and short of it there. And again, I have not talked to anybody involved. And again, you have Jim Uso saying that, Naomi's supposed to join the bloodline soon. But again, we'll see what happens Friday. Because we at the network side of things, my network, we're going to reserve judgment about this until open mic night, because that's going to be on Saturday, and SmackDown will have already been in the can. So we'll see exactly how this RK Bro bloodline thing plays out. So maybe we'll see Naomi on Friday. Maybe she will have come back. Maybe Sasha will. Maybe Sasha won't. The thing that I have noticed, and again, I'm guilty of as much as anybody, is when something happens like this, we have to react right now. No, we don't. One of our old contributors on No DQ, TJS, said it best. Let it play out. Let it burn, man. Let it happen. This literally happened, in theory, a little over 24 hours ago. So I'm curious to see how things run their course between now and Friday, between now and the pay-per-view, between now and the next pay-per-view. And yes, they've not talked about a walkout on live television, although Ric Flair came to the ring that night that Austin walked out, and they played it into the storyline of Ric Flair was supposed to be feuding with Austin, and then it became Flair versus McMahon for complete control of the company, which is why we lost Ric Flair as the Raw owner, and we gained the GMs, Bischoff and Stephanie, not too long after. So again, there is precedence, just not in the overly saturated internet age. That's the difference between Steve Austin and even CM Punk 8 years ago and now. So that's why it's different. And we're all experts, right? We all know everything. We all know what we know, and we think we know everything, and we don't. And that's kind of what's happening here. And again, the problem with Corey addressing it on Raw last night is it's still fresh, it's still raw, it's still in the mind of the promoter, the booker, the producers, and everybody involved. So everybody's raw, everybody's like about everything. It should not have been addressed. It should have been, we've had it, releasing this statement online was probably a more diplomatic way to go, but having Corey address it on TV in the heat of the moment, probably not the best thing. So there's my stance on that. People have asked me the last couple of days what I think about Ric Flair returning to the ring, and people are going to call me a mark for this. People are going to call me a little too sensitive for this, and that's fine. When he returned to the ring in 2009, 2010 for the Australia tour with Hulk, and then with TNA Impact, I kind of like, okay, you know what? The McMahons are kind of like not using him to his ability at the moment. So I'll give him a pass, because even he said the matches in TNA to him, he said this publicly, were crap. It didn't mean anything. He is actively promoting this match that he's having in July. So I'm taking probably too much, but offense to it, because I felt like I was part of something that was really special and unique in this business, and I'm in the business, in wrestling, that I was a part of a small ratio of the fandom that got to see Ric Flair's match that amounted to anything. And now apparently FTR is going to be his partners. Apparently they're bringing the Rock and Roll Express and Ricky Steamboat in. Night-night, Alana. I know you guys are like, what the heck? Night-night, Alana. Get some sleep. I see you soon. I'll see you on Friday, God willing, and this stuff gets out of my throat. I love you. Mwah. All right. It bugs me that Flair's coming back to the ring, and it's going to, and I'll talk more about it on Saturday rather. We have a lot to talk about Saturday. We have a lot of cool topics that we're going to bring up. Not all of them wrestling, technically. So, I wouldn't classify it as bitterness necessarily, Josh. And again, there's a whole lot of subjectivity and descriptions that don't always universally apply and things like this. And we'll go into it more on Saturday, but I'm for one, I'm not happy he's coming back. If I was going to SummerSlam, if I was going to StarCast, I might try to find a way to see it just so I don't feel so cheated. But I'm not going to SummerSlam. I can't afford it. Or StarCast weekend. I can't afford either one of those. All right. So Mike says, Jeff, I feel like a mid-card women's belt would be better since they can't even book the tag belts. They have no real tag teams. They fired the few they had. They can't keep the women's division, single division straight now with the 2 titles they have. It's ridiculous. So no more. They don't need any more championships, period. Let alone a mid-card women's title. Absolutely not. I 100% disagree with that. Bobby says, if I've seen the Peacemaker on HBO Max that John Cena, I have not. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I have not watched Peacemaker yet. Just as I mentioned on the show, I'm re-binging. I'm trying to start binging again Gotham and re-binging the MCU. So Peacemaker will come up eventually. It's just a matter of, not in the MCU, but eventually it'll come up in my travels. It's just there's Aaron and Jake. I have this little checklist over here that I've got over here that's like, movies I have to watch, and it's getting larger and larger every day. So I'm working on it, though. Josh Flair said he never worked for Nick Khan again, but would work for Vince, but he's still essentially saying screw all that and what they think of. And again, Flair at 73 doesn't think he has to, answer to anybody. He's not under contract to Vince McMahon. He's not under contract to, the AEW manager. He's under contract to Impact Wrestling or to the NWA or anything, So I'm kind of just whatever right now about the minute details of it. The bottom line is this was promoted as if he lost, he wouldn't wrestle. And he came out on Raw the next night when I was trying to get out of the hotel and back here to Los Angeles, that he will never wrestle in the ring again. And he said that, and he meant it at the time. And granted, it's been 15 years roughly, and time changes everything in one's mind, it seems. But I feel like and Flair went along with it for whatever reason he did back then, gave us something to believe in as fans, where, especially nowadays, it's very hard to believe in anything WWE does creatively, as we've talked about. And I feel like it was completely for nothing. So anyway, let's see. And again, going back to the Naomi and Sasha thing, there's a lot being thrown around about discussion backstage that we don't necessarily know is true or hearsay or BS or whatever the case may be. And that ultimately is the problem with the internet wrestling community. And like I said, I'm as guilty as everybody else. We don't have all the facts because we don't work in WWE. We don't work at the arenas where WWE, at least I don't, where WWE runs their shows. We don't work in that environment. So we don't know what happened behind that curtain. All we know is what we're told on a little screen about this big or even about this big. So, like I said, I'm reserving full judgment on all of this with Sasha Banks and Naomi's situation until we hear definitively they've been released or they have been been granted their release, or we hear directly from Mercedes or Trinity on some sort of platform that we know it's them. Because Jimmy Uso can say what he wants. The alleged friend of Trinity can say all he wants, and we're going to talk about him on Saturday. But again, it just screams that there's too much out there that we should know that we do, for me. So, again, there's a lot of it that we don't know. Oh, I wanted to do it all, so let's not do that. Thank you very much. This thing is so touch sensitive these days. It's not very happy. I also did get asked today after the announcement finally went down about the XFL and their new TV deal. They're apparently partnered with ESPN, which We did see the XFL try that, I believe, back in the day, the old XFL. They ended up, of course, on the Viacom networks because they weren't working with Spike. But they'll be on ESPN. They'll be on the FX network. They'll be on getting ESPN is big. It really is a huge thing for that brand to get ESPN coverage. So figure 43 games a year, a season, 10 weeks, 2 playoff games and a championship game. That's going to be awesome to see how it all plays out. And yes, definitely, it'll make for interesting discussion coming up Thursday and Saturday night. And again, for those of you that are needing the visual aid reminder, let me go ahead and get rid of my stuff up here. Thursday night, I'll be on the panel, so it'll be interesting to see what everybody else has to say about this. But I'll be on the No DQ review Thursday night, as well as hosting open mic night on Saturday. Again, special time for open mic night Saturday night at 9:00 Eastern. So, and again, that's accommodating where I'm going to be Saturday if I get to go. God, we'll see. See how I feel. And again, as far as the other part of the story with Sasha and Naomi, that they were saying, they were really saying they felt unsafe working with Piper Niven and Nikki Cross. I find that very hard to believe. And again, you guys are saying in the chat room that it's pretty much a WWE excuse, and it very well could be. It would not surprise me if that's exactly what it was, trying to cover their own ass, cover their own tracks, whatever you want to say. Like I said, we need a definitive statement from somebody before this really gets and yeah, Colin hits it right on the money. What a shit show this has become in, like I said earlier, Colin, a little over 24 hours. This is a complete train wreck. It is a mess, and I'll say more than a half. I'll say a mess in 3/4. It's so bad. It's so terrible. And Colin, working when he works in the food industry, he knows all about messes in kitchens. So God bless him for, it's a mess. It's a complete horrible thing. Hello, CJ in Atlanta. Good to see you in here, my friend. Damn bugs. The thing is, when we let the dogs out here at this house, there's no screen on the door, so flies just come right on in. It's fun times. It's still a work in progress here at the new place. We're working on as best we can. There's a lot of stuff that's a shit show. I'll be honest with you, Colin. There's the Flair story. There's the Naomi Sasha story. There's the Kota Ibushi thing with New Japan and what he's saying on social media. There's a lot of crap going on, and I love that Colin's bringing this up. So thank you. How many more times will Sasha take her ball and go home if that's actually what's happened before she actual split? That's a great, again, Steve Austin, biggest star in the company, literally the biggest star in the company, maybe all time. And again, there'll be arguments about that, I'm sure, over the course of history. He walks out, says he's not coming to work. They bury him. And I mean, just tear him a new rattlesnake asshole 5 days later on Confidential. Nobody's immune from this shit. Nobody's immune from the company. The minute you decide you don't want to play with their ball anymore and you take your ball and go home, you are wide open for a complete and utter burial. And you know what? If the report is to be believed, and she did indeed quit and, pull a whiny shit stuff, then she deserves to get buried. Naomi, again, there's also reports out there that Naomi kind of got rooked into it, and maybe might be having second thoughts. I don't know, but we'll see. And again, I agree that Sasha's popular, and that's fine. She's got the Mandalorian connection. She's got all kinds of and again, just because Sasha said it doesn't mean it's true. Let me be clear on that. And Sasha said it, as far as I know, on a WWE produced show. So that could have been very much kayfabe. Again, don't believe everything you read or see, Josh. Just read between the lines. I told you that 100 times, my friend. Greg Cherry popping in for a quick cheap plug for the Greg Cherry Show, making its, as of now, one and only return to the NoDQ.com channel, which, yes, if you're watching NoDQ, you will see the Greg Cherry Show tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, not only on the Jeff Meacham Network, not only on the Greg Cherry brand, but on NoDQ.com for the first time in, I don't know if the Greg Cherry Show was hosted on NoDQ ever. I know he did the streams before, but definitely check out Greg Cherry on NoDQ as well with myself, because I clearly have too much time on my hands. I'm going to be on Greg's show tomorrow. I've got 3 streams for Thursday, taking Friday off. Saturday I've got open mic night, and then right back to it Monday again. So it's going to be crazy. That's true. I forgot you guys were all getting together on Saturday. That's very cool. Again, Saturday. I guess there's that No DQ meetup, which I think is cool. You guys are getting together out in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. You have to fill me up a bunch, so I'm not able to go. I wasn't asked to go because people know I can't go, just because I just can't, because it sucks. And yes, the Greg Cherry Show was awesome. By the way, if you guys are on the Greg Cherry brand right now, and you do donate tonight throughout the course of the show, or over the course of this rest of this month, there is a goal. Money goal, and yeah, it's high, but we set it high because Greg and I don't want to do this. We get enough money in the kitty. Greg has to wear Cleveland Brown stuff on the episode of the Greg Cherry Show. If my channel gets enough money, I have to wear Anaheim Duck stuff. And if we get the goal together and get the combined goal, we will both wear Patriots positive attire on the show, and I will actually say something nice about Bill Belichick on the air. And yes, Patriots. And yes, my son heard that. So if I can find something to stop and throw at him, I will.
Go Patriots! Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of the 21st century. It's not a song.
Get out of here.
Ow, my shit. Ow.
Bringing back the old throw stuff at Aaron off camera gimmick, but for Dylan instead.
Ow, no, that actually hurt.
Okay, well,
ow.
Knock it off. Are you okay for real?
Ow, no, it hit my shin directly.
Oh.
Like it was a straight shot.
Went to the top of the bottle, get it?
Yeah. Oh my god. Ow. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're also cramped up because you've been in bed sick all day.
No, like this.
Please don't drop that glass. It'll shatter. It'll be very loud. It'll be very expensive to clean up. Please sit down before you fall down, dude. Jesus Christ. Got a cramp in his leg. Okay. So, yeah. This is why we don't do X and me anymore. Because you throw some people off camera, they get hurt for real. Don't cheer for Belichick on my show. There you go. If you haven't learned your lesson, we can talk more off air. You defiant little poop, you. You don't be so dramatic.
I'm not. It legitimately hurts.
Oh, okay, we'll check it out here. Let me see. Stay off camera though. You don't have a shirt on, so we're live, pals. Don't mind us. Let me just. If there's a mark, I'll jump off camera. Obviously. Let me see. As you bump into more stuff, I can't see past the gate. Knucklehead. Let me see. Where's it hurt now?
Right here.
Okay. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. All right. Just go sit down. Jesus. Make sure you keep her out of here too, please. I don't need a dog traipsing in here right now. Dylan sounds awesome, yes, but he's been in bed sick all week, so it's he's missing state testing, which sucks. But kind of is what it is. Let's see, where are we at here? I remember that story when R-Truth and Miz got let go. That was so silly that they got let go. I mean, see, and that's what I'm talking about. We never know. Mom says happy Tuesday on a Tuesday night. Jeff Meacham, hope you're doing well, and same with everyone on the chat. Well, thank you. And JJ, of course, is reviewing, and I did plug that in the trailer, Jay, and we'll talk about it toward the end of the show here. But he is still hot and heavy in Dwayne Johnson month over on the Cassidy Studios Renegades Review Show. He did Snitch yesterday. Tomorrow is Pain and Gain. Friday is San Andreas. He's also today posted a panel featuring Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy in Disney's universe in 1987, that he filmed prior to a special screening of the Goofy movie that he attended over the weekend. And of course, that was out at the Sugar Mint, our friends over at the Sugar Mint Gallery next door to the Myers house from Halloween. So busy over here at across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse, shall we say? Because like I said, I'm on 4 different channels. Let me get that thing back up here. Actually, boop. There we go. And again, So yeah, now we've handled first aid. You all right, kid? I didn't feel that hard. Anyway, but again, this is why we were trying to throw stuff in air because people get hurt. So anyway, he's fine. He's being a teenager. I hear my dog coming down the hall. I wanted to walk in here though. All right. So again, lots of stuff going on in the news. I know there's a lot to talk about. I know NXT is picking up steam as they get into no DQ. NXT presents In Your House. That's on June 4th. That's also been added to our watch along lineup coming up on June 4th. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up on that front. We're covering Double or Nothing. We're covering NXT In Your House. We're covering Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell probably going to be just JJ and I because James and Noah don't want to be part of the NXT watch along or a WWB show watch along, which, hey, there you go. There is that. We're covering the NWA pay-per-view, Always Ready. We're covering Slammiversary. We're covering Forbidden Door, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. Lots of stuff coming up on the Jeff Meacham Network as far as the watch along. So please stay with us. And is Noah for sure doing NXT commentary? I guess I missed that part of the conversation, but either way, JJ's been a very diligent, dedicated NXT watcher. He has watched every piece of programming, be it on Hulu or live as it happens when he's able to, of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown since the Elimination Chamber. So JJ is on the ball. So, and CJ apparently discovered a drink. It's Orange Vanilla Captain. Wow. Orange Vanilla Captain Morgan. Good grief. That sounds just like diabetes in a bottle with grape Kool-Aid. Wow. That is an interesting combination. I never tried that. And when I did have rum before I discovered the wonders of Jack Daniels, rum was my choice, and Captain Morgan was the way to go. But those get pretty pricey at the bar, so I just kind of stopped doing the rum after a while. Josh, we'd love to have you on the NXT watch along. So message me on however you do social media, and you usually talk on Twitter DM. So we'll talk more about it tomorrow. I'm trying to go to bed tonight. I got to get to bed as soon as craziness is over. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I actually had the graphics, not all of them, but mostly loaded in here. Well, again, there's a lot coming up, but here, let me just give you an idea. So again, we've got the Greg Cherry Show tomorrow, which I have that graphic ready to go. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Greg Cherry Show tomorrow, again, on NoDQ.com, as well as the usual Greg Cherry Show, Greg Cherry brand and Jeff Meacham Network. And that'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern. At 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific will be JJ's review of Pain and Game there. You see at the bottom of the screen there. I know it's kind of squished down there. I had to work with what I had. And then, again, I did plug it earlier, but we'll go ahead and get the official plug in there. There's JJ's reviews this week. Snitch yesterday, Pain and Game tomorrow, San Andreas Friday. That's over at youtube.com/Casa D-Teen Studios. The wording's right there on the screen. Thursday, again, I'm the busiest man in show business. I've got Jack of all trades, where I'm once again challenging for the championship that I lost. It's my first actual attempt to get the title back, so we'll see how that plays out. That's on at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 Eastern. At 6:30 Eastern, Jenny Santana returns to the channel to officially preview Saturday's debut of the Ultimate Women Wrestling out in Vegas. And then 8 o'clock, we are live on the No DQ review on both the NoDQ.com channel and the Jeff Meacham Network as well. And yes, for right now, Josh, absolutely. Wrestling is a work. Wrestling is real. Politics are a work. And screw Bill Belichick. For right now, yes, no doubt about that. Hopefully I can maintain that. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Here's the thing. I need this money so bad I'm willing to suck it up and actually praise that big jerk. So we'll see how it goes. I don't mind it. I don't really mind Lacey being on Raw. Again, I have a problem with the whole, they made her out like this heroic, this sympathetic figure, and then they're turning her back heel. It seems like it really feels like a yank out of the rug. It feels really stupid for me. personally. Again, Saturday, open mic night. Special time and day, Saturday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. We're usually on Fridays for that show, but we're moving it to Saturday for the family thing. And then Monday, we're back on the air after JD reviews Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart. We are on live at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific with Dads and Always in Wrestling's as we Dads Always in Wrestling, as we do The Rock's greatest matches. And then we're back here live Tuesday night next week with Talk Wrestling. And again, that show will not be on No DQ because Aaron and the team will be previewing Money in the Bank. So that will not be a No DQ stream coming up a week from tonight. That will be coming up on and again, open mic night this coming Saturday will be the first time that I can recall that we're going to be in the same room at the same time doing one of our crazy streams. So be on the lookout for that. Fireball, not my friend. I'm not gonna put that up there. So, Fireball, gross. And again, just to show you guys how crazy the next month or plus is, that's the lineup starting Monday, Sunday the 22nd. So other than this coming Sunday, Sunday June 12th, and then 2 Saturdays, the 18th and the 25th, there will be no official live streams. Everything else, I have some sort of live presentation going out into the quote-unquote multiverse, if you will, the WWE universe, the No DQ galaxy, the whatever you all want to call it. So, and yes, the No DQ review is a question mark on the 30th of June because I don't know if I'm doing that be on the No DQ review, and I still have a show that day, so I figured I'll plug it in. And as we get further into July, 15 years of this show. It's crazy that 15 years ago, July 16th, was the first episode of this show. I'm overwhelmed and incredibly grateful for everything I've been able to do the last 15 years on this show alone. And then, of course, you get into the 20th anniversary of me working with Aaron on NoDQ.com. Good Lord. And it's Tuesday night, and I don't think it's pay-per-view that Sunday. So we'll go live, he and I together, hopefully, if we can get it together. Again, it's time to be determined because I don't want to keep Aaron up too late on a Tuesday because he's got neighbors. Where are we at here? So, again, the plan is to get out to the East Coast again sooner rather than later. I still want to go to Disney World again. That won't be until, in all likelihood, 2026 when I take Dylan for his graduation. And there's also something in Georgia out in another part of the state that I want to go see that's Star Trek connected. So the plan is to go back. Just a matter of when. All right. Going to give Bobby the final question of the night because it's getting to the bottom of the hour-ish. It's 40 after, so I'm going to go ahead and ask this. Who do I think will be the one to beat Roman Reigns to become undisputed WWE Universal Champion? I think it may be Cody Rhodes or possibly Bobby Lashley. I stand behind that Drew McIntyre is going to beat him in Scotland, or the Wales rather, for the WWE Championship. And then Cody will be the one to defeat him for the Universal Championship. That way they have separate titles. I know they made a big deal about it being united, but if Roman's going to be part-time, might as well split it up anyway and give each brand a chance at their own world title. So that's just for my money. Kids, thank you all very much. I appreciate the watch, the views, the watches, the comments, everything you guys today. It's very much appreciated. Again, you can catch us tomorrow on the Greg Cherry Show and throughout the rest of the week here on the Jeff Meacham Network, the Greg Cherry brand, the Cassie Studios, and of course, the mothership, if you will, baby, NoDQ.com, where Talk Wrestling started 15 years ago. Crazy, crazy. Have a wonderful night, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow for Greg Cherry Show and the rest of the week right here on the Jeff Meacham Network.